gonna skate. It did.
SerbskE is a nod to Serbiak Ignatowski, which is the ski. The dollar sign at the end is E-money, and he just struck there.
These guys can score.
These guys can score.
The only team in the nation that triples the card game.
Part-time striker.
Live from Village Bowl in Menomonee Falls, Wisconsin, it's the Feftacular.
And here we are, everyone, live in Menomonee Falls for that time of year, pre-Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving Eve. It is the Feftacular. Let's go back up here into the broadcast booth. Hey, everyone, Andrew Pfeffer, Maxxx Creditz.
Happy Thanksgiving,
On
Pfeff.
the mic. Happy Thanksgiving to you, too. How you doing tonight?
Oh, great. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
Best night of the year.
Great to have you here. And you know, on the microphone, one that isn't an empty beer bottle or a, you know, spent Roman candle. Or
Max is versatile.
So, yeah, this is our third Feftacular. And I hope those of you who join us live will chime in. Let us know where you're tuning in from and who you're cheering for, all that good stuff. This, of course, is all about the SerbskE Club. It is a 30-plus year tradition of league bowling and a whole lot more.
A lot more.
A lot more than just your traditional league team. So here's what we're looking at for tonight. SerbskE's is normally against Premier Flooring for the Feftacular, but since Thanksgiving is a little later this year and the schedule is a little adjusted, they are against Rich Mueller's Pro Shop. Now, Rich is not bowling. He's not on the roster, so you won't see him competing tonight. There are points for winning individual and team games, that's scores plus handicap. And the team that wins the Feftacular receives a variety pack of chip magnet salsa. And as we've done since year one, we're bowling for chip magnet salsa.
We are bowling for salsa.
Bowling for salsa, yeah. We're also on a different pair tonight. We're on 1 and 2, as in the past we've been on 25 and 26. And I'm hoping that Lane Talk will provide us some scores. You can see that kind of on the top there. And if you don't see the scores, if it doesn't catch up with us here, you can always go to Lane Talk or the Lane Talk app to find scores from each of the players and, of course, the team totals and all that good stuff. So about 1:40 left in practice, and SerbskE's Club has had a nice run so far this season, maintaining that first-place spot in the Wednesday Tippers League.
That's correct. They're at the top of the Wednesday Tipper League for the first time in a long time. SerbskE's have a history of being at or near the top, but had a little bit of a slump last year, didn't make the playoffs. So it's all about redemption here in 2024. And so far, so good. We've got several weeks to go. I need to finish the half strong. We both halves. But so far, so good. SerbskE's are at the top of the list in the 16-team league. And our opponent tonight, Rich Mueller's Pro Shop, is in 14th place.
Yeah. We'll get a lineup for you here in a moment, as well as some of the faces behind the names. It's a touch different than last Feftacular, although somewhat similar. E-money, Maxxx Creditz, is taking a seat this time around, and we have the Dominator leading things off.
Dominator sat out last year, back in the lineup tonight, and he will lead off, followed by you, Pfeff, in the 2 slot.
Yeah.
Pete Serbiak, Serge in the 3 hole. John, the Doctor, Merkala, bowling 4th, and Mark Ignatowski in the familiar anchor spot.
Yeah. We've since we've got a couple of years under our belt now, we've got some some rudimentary statistics. We got some average leaders now, as the aforementioned Mark Ignatowski leading the pack with north of 243 per game for his 6 games, followed by Serge at almost 223, myself
All right.
And
It's a very respectable 217 there, Fef.
yeah, the Doctor, E-Money, and the Dominator.
We want to wish you a very happy and safe Thanksgiving.
And we'll see what tonight brings.
Yeah. So I'm kind of in this zone where I'm not sure if I should put some tape in the thumb or not. You know, it's not, I feel like I'm squeezing a little bit.
45 and 81.
But
45 and 81.
Is the tape going to be too much? I don't know.
My 2 cents on that, Fef. I think you give it a few shots.
Yeah.
See how you're coming out of it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we can do that. So
your thumb may expand a little bit after a few shots.
Yeah.
Kind of get comfortable in the ball.
Right.
If not, you can always make adjustments. We'll talk about that as we go through the night.
Yeah. For sure. So, yeah, we've got a few of the other folks from the SerbskE's crew here. Stretch is looking on, as is Ryan and Evan, the future stars.
Decent crowd tonight. We expect many, many more.
Yeah.
But we are underway.
There's the Dominator mixing them up for a strike.
And the familiar D.
All right.
Oh,
So
Dominator chant.
I'll be right back. I'm going to go see if I can follow suit there.
So we are underway. SerbskE Club versus Rich Miller's Pro Shop. And notice the Fef will be taking his turn on lane 1. Both of the bowlers for the respective teams struck to start the match. Both Dom and Wyman for Rich Miller's Pro Shop. Gotten off to a good start. And here's the Fef on lane 1. And as you would expect, the Fef delivering with a strike. High fives all around for the Fef. Terrific start.
That felt pretty good.
Looked good, felt good. Great job, Fef. Pete Serge, Serbiak, up on lane 1 for the SerbskE Club.
Yeah.
Also following suit. SerbskE's are perfect so far.
So what are your thoughts on this pair as compared to maybe 25 and 26 or some of the others? I mean, do they tend to hook a little more? Is it any different?
Well, Fef, it's kind of funny you asked. Right back at you with a question. Of all the SerbskE members,
Okay.
who do you think has thrown the last 300 game on this pair? 1 and 2?
The last 300 game on this pair.
Amongst the SerbskE Club members.
Amongst the SerbskE's Club. Gosh.
Don't look too far to your right.
It's you.
It is.
It's you.
2010, Fef. One magic can happen at any time.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
getting back to your question.
So you like this pair?
I own this pair, but
Yeah.
I've chosen to sit out for some weird reason tonight. But notoriously, 1 and 2 are a little bit, I'll use the word grabby. So we expect an early breakdown. We'll expect the players to need to adjust and shift. And we'll be watching for that right around probably the middle of game 2 or earlier.
Huh? Look at that.
SerbskE's with a perfect start, all strikes in the first frame. Dominic Leet up on lane 2.
Oh. A high flush pocket 10. You don't see that every day.
High flush for the Dominator. Tom will be switching to the plastic spare ball for the conversion. And clean.
I'm slowly trying to adjust the the scoreboard up there to make it easier to read. I think that's going to be a work in progress.
The Fef is a busy man today, trying to run the whole broadcast while also throwing the ball. And he's up on lane 2. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Man, what a fun tradition this has become. Year 3 of the Fef making a 4-hour trek from Altoona. Pride of Altoona.
Pride of Altoona. Chippewa Falls.
Pete Serbiak joining us on the mic as the Fef takes the
Fef
reins.
just absolutely buried one like a ringing
Absolutely.
And that keeps first double in play.
Absolutely buried it. Oh, Pete, talk about the first double. What do you mean by that?
I'm moving into the driver's seat now for the first double.
By driver's seat, you mean?
Driver's seat. I'm trying to get the first double. Trying to get the first double of the night.
And what do you get when you have the
we get
double?
an extra card. You get a bonus card in the poker game, Jeff.
Yes.
Max.
So every time the SerbskE strike, they play a poker game. You grab a card, and the first double in the first game earns a bonus card. The first 3-bagger in game 2 owns a bonus card. And in game 3, it takes a 4-bagger to earn that bonus card. So a little bit of a twist to the traditional poker format. Good shot, my friend.
Thank you.
SerbskE's off to a fairly comfortable start here. Everybody
Yeah.
keeping things clean, hitting the pocket. Looks to be perhaps a high-scoring night. That'd be fun for all the people watching, Fef.
There we go.
And there's that first double. We were just talking about that, and Pete has earned a bonus card in the SerbskE card game.
Yeah. I was reminded of that before I got up there, but couldn't quite get it to climb the hill as nicely as the first one. There's the doctor.
So, Fef, as this night goes on, we expect to be joined by the thousands and thousands of people in the SerbskE Nation joining us here in person to celebrate the Feftacular.
The Feftacular,
And, of
yeah.
course, people joining online from all around the world.
Or at least in the Milwaukee metro area.
Most likely.
All right, Beth S. is president of Southeast SerbskE's chapter. Check it in. It says, go get them, boys.
Welcome, Beth. Good to see you.
Does that make me the president of our Northwoods chapter?
Absolutely. Honorary, for sure.
Beth is Jeff. Beth is Jeff. Jeff is Beth. All right. So,
And that is, of course, referring to Jeff Sonneman of
gotcha.
Village Bowl fame, Hall of Famer Jeff Sonneman, president of the SerbskE Club.
Horror of turkey dinners.
Yes.
Nice. All the way down to South Carolina.
Yeah.
South Carolina's in the house.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
We're back.
Little hiccup there. That'll happen.
Welcoming Pete Serbiak back into the booth. So, Pete, the SerbskEs are off to a pretty solid start here, keeping things clean.
Some corner pin problems, which cropped up a little bit in practice too. But high flush seems to be working today.
Let's talk a little bit about the keys to the game. Any keys to the game tonight, Pete?
I think our
SerbskEs
biggest keys. We were
need to
just
win?
talking about this. When you're giving up 264 pins, you got two keys. I think make your spares and string some strikes.
Check so far.
Check. Yeah, you don't want to give them free openings with open frames when you're giving up 264 pins.
It's essentially an extra bowler.
Fef is going the string some strikes route, hopefully. I'm going to go bowl.
Another great shot by the Fef on one, clearing the rack. And the Cowboys in the house. Welcome. So, Fef, Pete Serbiak and I were just talking a little bit about the keys to the game. And
About the what?
keys to the game.
The keys to the game.
As the SerbskE Club is giving up 264 pins of handicap, so keeping things clean, making our spares. So far,
Yeah, that
mission accomplished.
so far so good. I think on this next shot, I am going to mix in a piece of tape.
Pete Serbiak with the first three-bagger of the night. Perfect start for Serge. So what you're saying is my advice on the thumb hole. You need to add some tape.
It's solid.
Okay.
Solid advice. Yeah,
Be a little bit more comfortable with the piece in there.
I think so.
It's all about feel, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is about
It's
feel.
about feel, comfort,
Yeah.
breeds confidence.
So far so good. Yeah. So far so good. We've had to we've had to clear the cache once. But other than that, yeah, hopefully those of you watching can see the Lane Talk scores up top.
And John Doc Workala on his single pin, 8-pin conversion.
Okay. I think we're back now. Okay. So maybe it was a good omen, you know?
We are back.
We're back.
A little bit of a web hiccup. And as Serge pointed out, while we were dark, nothing but strikes, Fef.
Wow. Okay.
So once again, we're battling for salsa.
Salsa. Yeah.
And I thought it would be fun tonight to weave in some salsa facts.
Ooh.
Fef.
Yeah. Hit me.
Let's start with the word salsa.
Okay.
It means sauce in Spanish. Sauce.
Sauce. Okay. Sauce. Oh.
It's also America's #1 condiment.
Ooh. I feel like ketchup is always, a strong contender, but
Right? You would think.
good to know that salsa's #1.
Ketchup's got to be #2. And welcome to the booth, Mark, Iggy, Ignatowski. Welcome back, Mark.
Hey, Jeff. How are you?
Great. My name is Max, though.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. I was talking to Jeff over there. Sorry. Hey,
Clearly.
Max. Spelled with 3 X's.
So, Mark, talk a little bit about this start for the SerbskE Club.
Pretty good start on 1 and 2. We've flipped it over this year from bowling the high side of the house. We have a lot of stagger to make up, though. So we've had 2 all-strike frames so far. And I think only 1 open, right?
1 open. Here's the Fef on lane 1.
He's been locked in 5 frames. The corner pin problems, I think Pete talked about that before.
Stubborn 10-pin for the Fef.
Get a little
good shot.
sticky in the corners.
You have to appreciate the Fef is trying to fix the internet connection in between shots. Still pounding the pocket. It's really a good effort by the Fef. All things considered.
Razor sharp here on this 10-pin, probably.
Razor sharp. Now that we said that, you better make it.
Oh, sure. Easy. Boop.
No problem.
Easy spare.
No
All right,
problem.
good job. I'm going to let him take over again, the pros. I'll be back later on.
All right, a few more salsa facts for the folks out there. Salsa is a vegetable. And here's one of my favorites. Salsa will last longer than you think in your kitchen cabinet. If you haven't opened the salsa, it may last up to 18 months in your pantry. Of course, always check that expiration date before diving in.
Yeah, there's some corners out there tonight.
A couple tough corners.
Yeah.
Despite all the distractions and all the multitasking that you're doing, we're just impressed that you're finding your way to the pocket with consistency. Speaking of that,
I've got a good look out there, but
Pete Serbiak looking for his 5th in a row.
yeah.
Clearing the deck.
Anybody know how to get a paps around here?
Now, Fef, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves,
Right.
but
Don't put the cart before
we
the
all know
horse.
what happens if Pete strikes in the next frame.
That's
We
right.
have a certain song to sing.
And if you don't, you're going to find out.
Part of the SerbskE tradition is a number of songs that you'll hear throughout the night, and I think we'll stop there before we jinx anything and just kind of let it happen.
Right.
Speaking of strikes, John Workala doing his job in the 5th frame. He has 4 out of 5. SerbskEs are starting out kind of hot tonight.
Oh, yeah. And we need them all because we're up against some high handicap.
And despite those handicaps, the opponents, Rich Miller's Pro Shop, are doing a nice job of filling in their own scores.
There we go.
Remember, there's a
Ignatowski
264-pin handicap stagger to make up.
collapsing the bucket there, and look at this. We got Jim Lucas. Let's go, Fef.
Oh, welcome, Jim.
Hey. Hope you're knocking them down at Bullwinkles in Eau Claire tonight.
Speaking of multitasking, right? Jim
Oh,
is
yeah.
both watching the live stream and bowling himself. Great job, Jim. Happy Thanksgiving. Jason Enoch for Rich Miller's Pro Shop doing a nice job of filling in his own strike on lane 1. And we're through 5 frames.
Look at this. Look at this. My mom and my uncle just breezed through the door.
In the house.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, Jim.
There was some possibility that you might not. Usual.
47 years old and he's still giving me the usual.
Maxxx Creditz. There'll always be a baby.
Yep. So that's great. Yeah, my mom and uncle are here. Mom was kind of dependent on my uncle to get here, so good to see that they put in some teamwork and made the trip out.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Just a reminder that tonight's broadcast is an exclusive production of the FEF and the SerbskE Club. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or otherwise unauthorized use of the footage is prohibited. We have Tony Serbiak patching in all the way from California, asking the question, what kind of salsa are you playing for tonight? Great question, Tony. Well, the boys are playing for a variety of salsa. Chip magnet salsa. We have Garlicious. The second variety is cilantro lime. The third variety is mango habanero. We have the fourth variety, Maxxx Creditz personal favorite, garlic chipotle lime. And
thanks, Jim. That's the good lane.
Wildly Delicious is the last flavor.
So Wildly Delicious is my favorite, and it's because it tastes good. But the interesting part is that's kind of based on the original recipe, because Mrs. Chip Magnet had a grandmother who makes the salsa, and she took that recipe, and Jim, correct me if I'm wrong, did she modify it a touch, or it's not exactly, but very close to it, but it tastes good. He says that's his favorite too, and GCL.
Whatever flavor you enjoy, Feth. Salsa is a big deal.
It is a big deal.
There's a national salsa
Serrano
month.
peppers
Month of May.
instead of
National salsa.
Yeah, there's the difference. Serrano peppers instead of jalapenos.
Thanks for the clarification there, Jim. Salsa is also the official snack of Texas.
Ooh.
Became official in 2003.
No singing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he did not.
It probably
scary,
jinxed,
Rich? Yeah.
jinxed any chance of singing, but hopefully we'll get another shot at that later.
Yeah.
It's been kind of quiet on the songs tonight, Fef.
Oh my gosh. That woman looked just like my mother. Yeah, unfortunately, what split was that? I didn't see what he left. Pete.
I didn't see it.
Okay. Hopefully we'll get another string going here starting in the 7th. But Yeah, when you have an extreme disadvantage handicap wise, you really have to get going quickly.
It does put you behind the 8-ball.
Yeah.
And the SerbskEs really did their job of getting off to a good start. But in fairness, Rich Miller's Pro Shop countered that by getting off to a solid start themselves. So here we are in the 6th frame, and the SerbskEs haven't really made much of a dent into that handicap stagger. But there's still time.
There is plenty of time just in the 7th frame here. As Dom's got a 7-10 to deal with here. Oh, out comes the big hat. I know you can't see it. Iggy's was next to the doctor there on the left, but the big hat is glorious.
It's glorious. All right, Fef, let's see what you can do. A few more salsa facts. It's largely believed that salsa was invented by the Aztecs, mixing chilies and tomatoes together back in the day. Largely done the same way today, perhaps adding a few more ingredients to the mixture: garlic, cilantro, lime, to name a few. And I might be speaking out of turn. What the heck do I know about salsa?
Jeff, I've known you for about 50 years, and I have, jack diddly squat about salsa. But it looks like somebody from California wanted to know about salsa.
Tony was wondering what type of flavors we were battling for tonight, so we kind of went through the box here of the cavalcade of prizes.
I mean, there is, for my money, there is no better salsa out there. Oh, it looks like I bowl. Sorry.
You know what it might be time for? Might be time for a SerbskE giveaway. Why don't I dip my arm into the giant hopper of names of SerbskE followers on the interwebs? Let's pull out a name and deem it a bowling buddy, and we're going to give away a prize. So if Pete Serbiak strikes in the 7th frame, Pete and his bowling buddy will win a SerbskE prize package. And the bowling buddy today is Ralph I from Milwaukee on Whitaker Avenue. Ralph I is the bowling buddy. And if Pete Serbiak strikes here, Ralph will win a SerbskE prize package.
There you go.
Oh, bingo! Woo!
You got it.
Ralph, congratulations. You've just won a SerbskE prize package. The prize package will be the SerbskE Club sending Big Stretch to Ralph's house in the spring for a spring cleanup. Stretch will rake Ralph's lawn. We only require some Miller lights to be provided on site.
Provided by Stretch.
Provided by Big Stretch.
Good for more than just a wingspan when the raffle tickets
Congratulations, Ralph.
And the doctor mixing them up. He's got a decent game going here.
SerbskEs are doing what they can to stack some strikes here in the back half of game 1. Maybe make a run.
Yeah, the deficit is about 150.
Starting to close a little bit, closing that original 260 number.
Yeah. Often.
UGLY, baby.
7-9.
Cowboy Ron just describing that as ugly.
Does that qualify for the Bo Ryan coaster? Got the one.
I think that is Bo Ryan worthy.
So I should probably explain that too, because as we've we've talked about many times, we've got coasters like this one, the Bowling with the Fef coaster, and the E-Money special. Yeah, there you go. And as you may have seen, I hope you've seen in the episode of Bowling with the Fef, No Coaster Left Behind, we have a thorough explanation of the significance of the coasters and all that good stuff. William O'Leary checking in. Hello to you, William. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for checking in live and watching Feftacular III.
I think that episode you're referring to, Fef, might be episode 78 if memory serves.
Okay.
One of the more watched Bowling with the Fef episodes. And we do go through a thorough explanation of the coasters, but to give you the short story, this team has been bowling together, most of us, for going on almost 35 years. And we've taken the liberty to capture some of those moments in the form of photographs and translate them into coasters. And so we've got basically a duffel bag full of coasters that we whip out to serve as a record of the team history.
And these aren't the kind of coasters you'll find at on a bar. I mean, these are hefty. They're hefty coasters.
Nothing but the best. So we're through 7 frames in game 1. Still a pretty tight match with both teams capable of earning a victory. Remember that we're also playing for individual points, so each bowler is going head-to-head. First bowler, and each team's bowling against each other, handicap included, and so on and so forth. So 5 points available there in the first game. And then a team victory would award total pins for the team another 4 points. So a total of 9 points is available in this first game. 36 points total for the night. So to win the salsa, really 19 points is going to solidify a victory. Three-bagger by the Fef.
Well, pitched that one a little past the break point, but
Fef, you have 5 of the last 6.
Better to be lucky than good, right?
Not bad. Pete Serbiak trying to keep the string going.
You got it.
So the live crowd starting to fill in.
Yep.
Including Mark Ignatowski's parents.
Oh.
Jerry and Ralph in the house. Welcome, guys. Seth, you look pretty comfortable out there. Any thoughts?
It's not all that difficult to get the ball to the pocket, but the carry is a little iffy for me. But you know, just got to make good shots. A little trial and error, figure out what works.
Speaking of good shots. Oh.
We all got stripes except for you. And now you owe about 9 weeks in the pot. You're a part-time striker. Only you. Part-time striker. You and you. Part-time striker. Part-time striker.
All right. Hopefully our mics pick that up.
Yeah.
Some beautiful singing for a stick in the 8th frame.
And that's the Dominator. That is the part-time strike.
And by stick, I mean Dominator did not strike. Everybody else did. There's a fine for that. Dom has to put $1 in the card game and is serenaded by his teammates to the tune of Part-Time Striker. Hopefully more of that to come. So, Fef, I know that you're sometimes humble when it comes to talking about yourself and your own accomplishments, but just for our listening audience, your channel on YouTube has now been up and running for 4 years.
4, yeah. I suppose it has been up for 4 years.
2020-ish?
Yeah, we're past October. Wow.
And talk a little bit of how that's expanded to podcasts.
Yeah. So about not quite a month ago, we expanded out to a traditional podcast format. And the way that works is we still do the live streams every week, sharing your bowling story every week live. But then I'll take the audio from that and upload it to the podcast form, which you can find really wherever you can find podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and many others. But it was kind of a nice byproduct of the support that I've received from sponsors Chip Magnet and Jerry's Score More Bowling Supply.
Well, on behalf of your loyal following audience, we appreciate all you do to bring what is really a massive bowling community, all the way from the touring pros down to the average Joes, and telling all those human interest backstories that I think are entertaining. And so we really appreciate all you do to keep bowling in the forefront.
Yeah, you keep listening and I'll keep doing it.
Thank you. So with that, the Fef's going to take a shot at a 4-bagger as Pete Serbiak jumps into the booth. Pete, welcome back. Let's talk a little bit about what you've seen from the Fef. He looks really comfortable out there.
Fef, in the 2 years, this is the third Feftacular. The first 2 years, he is dialed in usually the first 2 games, and he's struggled a little bit with the transition. So let's hope, hopefully tonight he can make the move when he needs to. But he looks locked in right now.
I mean, you have to consider this is a 4-hour drive, a 2.5, 3 hour setup of all the equipment, and then he's got to grab a bowling ball and make it work for the next 2.5 hours.
I think what helps him is the Fef will always have an order of the Tyler tenders before we start, and I think that helps him get through those first 2 games. Those Tyler tenders, very popular. Tyler
popular
cheddar.
Menu item here at the Village.
Tyler Cheddar,
the Country Club of Bowling. Village Bowl.
Oh, we made that. Okay.
Special thanks to everybody at Village Bowl for allowing
Jeff,
us
I spent like 10 minutes and I finally
happen.
figured out how to get into the chat on YouTube. So I'm in now and I'm going to go bowl.
Good job figuring out the chat. And the Fef covering his spare. And that'll bring up Serge in the 9th frame. Current scores, 925 pins for the SerbskE Club, 1,097 for Rich Miller's Pro Shop. So considerable spread there.
And I love that the people who are here with us are also partaking in the live stream.
Absolutely. Rare miss by Serge as that ball goes high and leaves a difficult spare.
But anyway, we were talking about the podcast before, and in addition to the recent live streams, I've also been trying to throw up some flashbacks, including the SerbskE Club No Coaster Left Behind episode. We have an episode with Del Warren, who runs the Kegel Training Center. And we'll have more as we go, sprinkled in.
Love it.
Yeah.
Iggy commenting that we're bringing our C+ game right now, but there's a long night ahead of us.
Yep.
And as Iggy famously says, bowling magic can happen, Fef, at any time.
That's true.
At any time. Doesn't matter. So hopefully everybody will stick around for the long haul.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can bring you some fun bowling action and some highlights.
Yeah.
Got any plans for Thanksgiving, Fef?
Well, we're actually hosting Thanksgiving at my place. So early tomorrow morning, Ma, Fef, and I will hop in the car and make the 4-hour drive back up north, meet up with family.
Terrific.
Big thanks to Mrs. Fef for holding down the fort.
It's a big job hosting.
Yeah. Getting things ready.
Of course, we have a Packer game tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah. Check that out.
Absolutely. So based on the trend, Rich Miller's Pro Shop is closing out this first game pretty strong. And it certainly looks like the SerbskEs are going to have to play from behind in the battle for the salsa.
Yeah.
Another tough corner pin for Mark.
Yeah, my shot on lane one wasn't the greatest. I mean, I didn't get all the way through it, and I'm not surprised that the 6 didn't take out the 10.
It seems to me the lanes aren't giving anything away tonight. I think you need to make good shots, and you're rewarded if you do so, but not an easy.
It's the carry's a little tricky, yeah.
A little tricky. We'll see how that changes in game 2. Usually there's some transition. Things might open up a little bit. And the Dominator opens in the 10th frame for a 148.
Okay.
All right, Fef. Go get him.
We'll throw SerbskEs in there. All right. Finish out. Strike out the 10.
All right, so recapping the action so far, remember that individual points matter. So we have Wyman for Rich Miller's Pro Shop versus Dom Leet, the Dominator.
Yeah,
and it's going to be a clear victory for Wyman. That's a point.
Yeah, that looks like election night right there. That's a butt kicking.
Now, in the second hole,
Yeah.
Jason versus the Fef. This match is pretty tight.
Yeah, they both have spares up. Jason has a 4-pin lead, both with spares up in the 9th. So this is going to come down to a head-to-head battle here. Let's see what the Fef can do on the first ball in the 10th. Jeff, Max, you'll be happy to know that Fef left another 10-pin. I paid the $1 fine on the last frame because I took a mental frame off.
I noticed that.
Yeah, I
You
didn't.
threw the ball in the right gutter on the spare.
Well,
You went 7.
yeah, I threw
flyby.
it through it through the nose on the first ball and then put it in the gutter. And that I don't know what happened.
Now, for the listening audience, the mental frame off is usually a really bad first shot, followed by a really bad second
Yeah,
shot.
that's just 2 really, really bad shots, and you kind of screw up your game, and you should fine yourself for that. That's self-imposed fine.
One of those frames where you come back and you're talking to yourself and you say to yourself, "What am I doing?
What did I do? Why did I do that?" That's exactly what I did right there.
And that's exactly what you did.
Fef kind of did a flyby as well on the 10-pin. Now, the opens have kind of caught up to us here, and we did talk about the keys to the game not opening, Jeff, and we're starting to open a little bit. I'm going to try to stem the tide here.
So the SerbskEs have opened back-to-back in the 10th frame. Dom and the Fef, both with 9 counts and not converting the spare. Meanwhile, their opponents are filling in marks, spares, and strikes in the 10th frame, really taking the SerbskE Club to task. Remember, every point counts. So here in the 3 hole or 3rd position, Dean Madsen versus Pete Serge Serbiak. And Dean has a fairly comfortable lead with the strike up going into the 10th. Pete working on an open, so that looks to be another point for Rich Miller. Pro shot.
Okay, earlier.
Yep. Symmetrical roll to symmetrical solid.
I don't know what that means. Okay.
Well, the Fest back in the booth, and I heard the words symmetrical and solid. Does that mean we're looking at a ball change?
Yep, that's right. Rory says, "Go, Grandpa," all the way from Cumberland.
Terrific. Good to see the Serbiak family patching in from the Cumberland area.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving to you guys.
Nope.
Mark Ignatowski sort of mockingly applauding that the spare for Pete in the 10th frame. The first SerbskE member to Mark in the 10th.
Yep.
So Rich Miller's Pro Shop is going to take the first 3 points in the match. Still to be decided are the 4th and 5th positions. But the SerbskE Club will be digging themselves a little bit of a hole, but remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint.
That's right. Oh, and see, a matching 216.
So we've been weaving in some fun salsa facts all night. Here's one of my favorites. Salsa boosts your immune system and your metabolism. It's considered a superfood. Of course, it's made from vegetables and naturally occurring vitamins and antitoxins that can help improve your immune system. We're talking salsa facts, Pete.
Well,
Salsa facts.
Salsa Facts right now is better than this performance. Actually, I don't think it matters how we bowled here because the Rich Miller's Pro Shop with handicap is putting on a show right now. 286 with handicap, 268 with handicap. Doug is working on a 250 with handicap. Those are big scores, Jeff.
Those are big scores. Never underestimate your opponents. And nothing but ultimate respect for Rich Miller's Pro Shop. Rich Miller
Miller's Pro Shop
is the ball driller for the SerbskE Club. We should mention that.
Rich Miller is the ball driller of the SerbskE Club. He has been drilling our balls for about 12 years. Expert ball driller, Rich Miller.
Shout out to Rich Miller and a huge thank you for all that they do to support us.
He's done a great job. And if you're in the southern Milwaukee County area down in Franklin, they have just recently opened up the second Rich Miller's Pro Shop. It's going to go as Chris Miller's Pro Shop down there.
So, Pete, let's talk a little bit about some of the prizes that are at stake tonight. Now, looking to our opponent's scoreboard, they have 4 splits up there. They haven't converted any. But do you know what happens if our opponent converts a split? Our opponent will win a SerbskE prize package, which will consist of a coolie.
Really? I did not know this, Max.
An opponent-made split tonight.
Tonight, just on the Feftacular night.
Only on the Feftacular night 3. We'll win a coolie. So I'm kind of waiting for that to happen. But
when you say coolie, are you saying koozie?
Coolie?
Koozie? Okay.
Yeah, it depends which part of town you're from.
I got you. Yeah, that's a Wisconsin thing. So the scores are in here to finish. Fef threw a 216. which Serb matched with a 216. The doctor, he has been red hot. He shot 236. Iggy shot 215. So pretty good scores at the bottom there. Dom struggled a little bit.
It's a respectable 10-31 scratch, but I think there's room for improvement there. No
Yeah.
argument.
But somehow we lost with handicap by 175 pins.
Yeah.
Because they bowled, I think, and we've seen this before, Jeff, against the SerbskE Club.
Yes.
They, what do we say here? They sometimes these teams in game one, they shoot their wad, don't they?
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
careful.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna. Mark is calling a team meeting here, so I have to go.
Well, this is an interesting development. Mark is calling the team, Mark Ignatowski, team captain, is calling the team into a huddle. He appears to be giving the team a stern talking to, expressing his disappointment. Max is trying to listen in here. He's expressing a lack of emotion. Yes, he's asking everybody to take it up a notch. Okay. Great leadership from Mark there.
That was a.
You would expect nothing less from a talented left-hander.
That was a motivational, little pep talk.
Mark
there.
gave the team a little talking to, Fef.
Mhm.
I
That's right.
think it was well-deserved.
Yeah, I think so too. Did we catch this? Tony saying, how long can salsa keep fresh if it's been in the fridge?
Oh.
So the cool thing about Chip Magnet is you've got an expiration date on it. So you know how long you need. I believe it's like 10 days after it's opened. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's the
I would advise Tony to just be careful in that area. But
yeah. Joe wants to know, can we get the captain mic'd up for some inside the huddle content?
Oh, too late for that. But unless we have another huddle.
See, the problem is if we mic him up, then we can't. You won't hear us, and you want to hear us, right?
Maybe that's a good thing.
Maybe that's not a problem at all. So
wouldn't be the first time Maxxx Creditz heard that.
Tony says so. 2 years would be too long. Use your judgment, Tony. Beth says I agree, and Pete says hi, Roy. Grandpa needs to bowl better. Yeah,
I love that promise from Pete. Now he's got to deliver.
Yep,
better than 216.
So do I.
Go get him, Fef. All right, so for the listening audience, we're going to invite Ryan Workala into the booth. Ryan's part of the Future Stars program, bowling out of the UP, the Upper Peninsula in Michigan. And Ryan's been taking on the scoring duties tonight. So, Ryan, would you recap the game one stats?
Absolutely. Thank you, Max.
I mean, these look great, don't they?
A little rough for your SerbskE Club this first game. Rich Miller's managed to take 9 of 9 that game.
So you're saying we were shut out?
Yes.
We being the SerbskE Club.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's a big uphill battle, but mathematically still possible.
Absolutely.
I'm told you're pretty good at math.
That's what they say.
Talk a little bit about bowling up in the UP. How does it differ from down here in Wisconsin?
Well, we don't have all the new technology you see down in bowling centers like the Country Club. Got older lane machines which results in some harder lane conditions. We have upgraded from hand-oiled lanes to machine-oiled. Granted, the machine is from the 90s, but it is an improvement.
Interesting that the technology hasn't reached that area of the world.
Seems to be a local phenomenon. It has been brought to my attention that a bowling center north of me has access to some of these newer machines in their center.
So you bowl there at your local house. You're employed. Just give a shout out. What is the name of the place?
That'd be the Mineshaft Rock House in Houghton, Michigan.
Oh yeah, Mineshaft.
No relation to the Wisconsin locations.
Of course. So you're not only a client, but you also work there.
Yes, that
while
is
going
true.
to school.
Yes.
Right? If we have our priorities in the right order.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that. Ryan Werkela, part of the Future Stars program, made his SerbskE Club official debut, I think, last year,
Yes.
and held his own, more than held his own. We look forward to more of that.
Absolutely, yes.
All right, great job.
All right,
We'll
thank
look
you.
forward to a recapping after the second game. We'll invite Ryan back.
Absolutely.
But the SerbskE Club has really, really dug themselves a gigantic hole, and it's going to be a massive uphill climb from here. Max isn't saying it's not possible. It's still possible. Hang in there, listening audience. We'll see if we can monster a massive comeback.
Long way to go, Jeff. Still got
Long way
room
to
for
go.
you out here.
There, amazingly, there is plenty of room out here.
Plenty of room.
Normally, we have a huge live audience.
A throng.
You could use that word.
Yeah.
Taking up much of the space behind the lanes, but there's still room out here.
Yeah, we got room for you. Oh. So what Iggy has out there right now is known as the Rudy.
That's a mess.
That is the Rudy. That's where you have 4 on the left, 2 on the right. And
he just made it.
He just made the Rudy. Folks,
Unbelievable. That is bowling action at its best.
folks, that's going to make the highlight package.
Come on, interweb, chime in on the comments on that shot.
I mean, that is a 4 spare for the ages.
That might be the momentum changer
That is
that the SerbskE
I think
tsunami
that's what we
needs.
need.
We need a tsunami of strikes.
We
now.
need a tsunami of strikes, and it starts with this man, Dominic Leet.
right here, right now. Let's see if Dominic can continue that momentum. And if he does, it is sure to generate the DOM Dominator
this
chant.
is what we need. You follow up a 4 spare with a strike from Dom, and you are going to hear this place explode.
Arguably the biggest shot of the night.
Yep. Oh,
And Dom,
yeah.
yeah, well,
Some might say that 10 pin's nailed down there.
he got it to the pocket.
Yeah.
But, didn't finish.
First one this year.
1 for 1.
This year.
Mark is 1 for 1 on the
One for
on the
one
Rudy.
on the Rudy.
on the Rudy, named after Rudy Erickson. Hope Rudy can jump on maybe.
I don't think Mark wants to see that.
Hope
anymore
hoping
this
Rudy
year.
can jump
Hopefully that's
on.
the only
Rudy, if you're
shot.
out there,
3 for 15 lifetime.
3 for 15 lifetime, 20%. That is better than Rudy averages. On the 3. What the hell was that? The 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10? No,
Max was told there'd be no math.
7, 8, 10. No, 9, 10. 2, 4, and yeah.
I don't know. That's
I
a
don't
lot
know.
of numbers.
That's a lot of numbers. Max, you look a little thirsty. It's a warm one out here. All right, let's see what the Fef can do. Fef made a ball change after game 1, and that 10 pin was getting a little pesky for him, but he threw a really nice ball to start this game. Let's see if he can keep the momentum up. There'd be nothing better than to sing some Bon Jovi for the Fef.
Nothing better. The Fef has never experienced that. To experience that firsthand, that is nothing short of a SerbskE initiation.
That's a tradition, just like the Feftacular. What's our Aurora health report looking like? Stretch is, do we have a health report on Stretch? He's bouncing back. He had ankle replacement surgery a few months ago.
Well, I was talking to Stretch before bowling today, and he did, for those that don't know, Stretch is a member of the SerbskE Club, 6'5". You can't teach that.
Big man.
Big man, hence the name.
By the way, Fef just buried one.
But he had ankle surgery, Pete. And talking to Stretch before bowling tonight, maybe we'll get him in the booth later. He seems to be progressing with his rehabilitation. he might make a start for his Thursday team, which is not affiliated with the SerbskE Club, but we might send Stretch to a different house on a Thursday just to kind of test things out. And the plan is for him to make his SerbskE debut sometime in the second half. So maybe 3-4 weeks away. In the meantime, the SerbskEs continue to be befuddled. I think that's the right word.
Befuddled. That's a good way to put it.
By this pattern. But it's the same for both teams, right? So it's just a matter of figuring
We're all
it out.
bowling on the same thing, you know?
It's a great thing about bowling. So many different ways that you can be effective, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
You can strike a lot of different ways. Some folks have a lot of speed, some don't. Some have a lot of revs, some less. Right-handed, left-handed, straight. Covering a lot of boards. It's just many ways to strike, and it kind of makes for an interesting sport.
I was trying to give my uncle, I guess, a crash course in the differences between bowling balls. That's hard to get through in between frames.
A little more of the technical aspect.
Yeah. And I'm certainly not the best one to, to give him that kind of information.
But we have noticed you made that ball change, Fef, and it looks pretty comfortable so far.
It looks like it's rounding the corner a little bit easier, and just looks better. Better ball motion.
Better shape.
Better shape, yeah. I am considering taking that piece of tape out, though. I don't know if you noticed, but I almost got up there with my little shoe cover on my right foot.
Oh, my goodness. Don't even start with...
I looked down, and it was there, and I backed off. Oh, the other thing is we're in Game 2 now, so I can go to my Game 2 overlay.
So, Fef, you appropriately referred to it as a shoe covering, but in SerbskE terms, it's known as the booty.
The booty, okay.
And the removal, or sometimes non-removal of the booty, is a point of contention on the SerbskE Club. I will admit to having not removed the booty on a shot early this year,
okay,
and found myself halfway down lane 11. In a world of hurt.
I've had a moment like that, but it was in college, so anything goes. The Railbird says some use a ball, others a frozen turkey.
Well, shout out to the Railbird, one of the original SerbskE Club members from the original team. Great friend of the program, and what he might be referring to was a tradition at Classic Lanes Greenfield, run by, at the time, the Dereshevskis, Gary Dereshevsky, now owned by Gina Dereshevsky, great bowling family.
Yeah.
And the tradition at the time was after the league had completed on Wednesday night before Thanksgiving to take an actual frozen turkey and throw that down the lane. And based on pin count, somebody was going home with an actual turkey at the end of the night. And as you would expect, Mark Ignatowski, not only good at throwing a traditional bowling ball, but also really good at, apparently, throwing a frozen turkey, and was, I think, a multi-winner of the Frozen Turkey Challenge. Great memory from classic Greenfield days. And Mark Ignatowski joining us now in the booth. And Mark, we have a patch in from the Railbird. Hey, Railbird saying hi, talking about you throwing a turkey down the lanes many moons ago.
That's real. The crowd is starting to grow. That should help our scores, Jeff.
We need help.
They need a lot of help.
Sometimes you need that 12th man.
We also could use the guys that average 140 to not average 140. All right.
So for those following along at home, the SerbskE throng is expanding with Jenny the Squirrel Earhart entering the building, Julie Serbiak. I see some various Bill family members. Andy Gutowski in the house. And the throng just keeps growing, Fef.
Yeah.
Iggy was mentioning that this might be what we need is the crowd to get behind us.
We could
turn
use
the
a
tables
little
here.
support, yeah. But that ball is definitely making a better move to the pocket. I didn't quite get through that one, but it still made a nice turn, and
So far, so good. Looks terrific.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
We're positioned right by an exterior door, and it's interesting the reaction of the people who come in from outside and see us sitting here.
Sometimes hesitant to kind of pass in front of the camera and the table.
Yep.
But hopefully our audience can see the scoring. I think it's a nice addition from the prior editions of the Feftacular.
Yeah, I think
It's
so.
a good upgrade this year.
Yeah. And I'm confident that since my mother is also watching the live stream, she'd let me know if there was a significant problem.
We can only hope so.
Yeah.
All right, let's check back in with the game here. So Rich Miller's Pro Shop, again, doing what they need to do to keep a little bit of comfortable distance from the SerbskEs, although
I think the Bo Ryan coaster would come out for that, right?
absolutely
Yep, there
would.
it is. Yep. That's
So-
it right there.
Maybe we can get John to bring the coaster in here. We can give the audience a shot in that.
It's also doubling as a drink topper, I think.
It's being multifunctional right now. So Fef, the SerbskE Club is doing what they need to do, having, I think, a clean game so far.
Mhm.
And a gentle reminder that the house will reward 25 clean in game 2 with 5 house bucks to be used for food or beverage. So it's always a goal to get 25 clean in game 2, and so far so good.
Yeah, that's a nice incentive.
Great.
All right.
So, Mark, our listening audience is asking if you'll give us a little bit of insight. What were you saying in the huddle after game 1 when the SerbskEs got swept and got 0 points? What do you say?
Playing the law of averages, I didn't think they were going to shoot almost 1,300, but I'm speechless right now what they're doing.
They're taking you to task.
Yeah, I'm
That's what they're doing.
absolutely speechless. We're going to try to make history, though, tonight by having a live stream 300. I don't know if one's ever been shot at Village.
How special would that be if the Fef could do it?
Yeah.
He's perfect through
Yeah.
4.
With family here.
Absolutely, in the presence of family. And the Fef is really, really doing his best to carry this team at the moment. Just a terrific effort, Fef.
Yeah, that was good. Got it down the lane a little farther, and
Now, Fef, you look very comfortable in this house. I know it's your 3rd time bowling in the Feftacular, but if we roll back a few decades,
yeah,
you not only bowled here but worked here. Do I have that right?
yep.
If memory
That's right.
serves.
Yeah, in the late 1990s, took a job working the counter with, Pete Riopel was still in charge and owning the place, and great memories of working here and bowling on the previous set of lanes, not these lanes, but the last ones they had in before these.
So despite the 4-hour drive and all the chaos, I mean, this is a comfortable environment for you.
I think
sort
so.
Of, sort of grew up here, in a
Yeah.
way, right?
Yeah.
Kind of honed your bowling skills.
Milwaukee's home, and
Absolutely.
and it's good to be in a familiar place, family and friends and all that good stuff. I mean, that's what Thanksgiving's about, right?
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And what a great tradition this has become. Feftacular III.
Yeah.
Well, the SerbskE Club is doing their very, very best to turn the tables here, having put up a perfect all-strike frame in the fourth. The Fef is perfect this game. John is perfect this game, the doctor. And Jason from Rich Miller's Pro Shop also perfect so far through 3. He has yet to bowl his fourth frame.
So you asked me about my Thanksgiving plans. What about you?
Max is on the road tomorrow, Fef. We'll be
Okay.
heading about 3 hours to the central part of the state, Wisconsin Rapids.
That's right.
My sister and I take turns hosting,
Oh,
so it's her turn to host. And so,
that's nice.
yeah, we'll be on the road and enjoying a traditional Thanksgiving dinner and some time with family and friends.
And the Packers.
And the Packers, of course. Yeah, looking forward to that tomorrow night. So, Fef, I'm noticing some unique hats there. Are you seeing what I'm seeing next to
Yeah.
Serge?
A construction type hat, but kind of more of a replica, like you'd find at a chain restaurant.
Not sure if there's a new story building behind that, but
Yeah.
kind of waiting for the debut of those hats, maybe later tonight.
I'll try and zip by and hold one up before I go out to bowl here.
All right, so the Fef is making his way up to the pair, trying to keep a perfect game intact. I was talking about these construction sort of hats. Maybe we can get a shot of those.
Well, hats would be great. Yeah.
Those are sort of unique.
Just within the last 15 minutes, the crowd is like doubled in size here. It's too bad we can't pan, but
The millions and millions are starting to
millions
fill in.
and millions of people. We got the Eggers are here. Some of the wives have showed up. A couple of Serb sisters and a Serb nephew have appeared. Farkas just told me about his last hand down in Potawatomi. We got the Fef going for 5 in a row here.
5 in a row would be great.
That would be one away. Could use a little Bon Jovi singing. That would be great. Come on, Fef. Looks good. Oh, came up high.
The jinx.
Oh, late action.
Talking about his perfection. Well, he's got to start a new string.
Do we know how many 300s the Fef has?
I do. As of last year, it was 4. So unless he's thrown one in the past year,
It was 4.
I think the Fef has 4 perfect
So that
games.
that puts him in a 3-way tie with Stretch and myself, I believe.
Mhm.
So that's a good battle. That's a good battle.
I'm gonna use the phrase "special company" there.
Jeff, I'm gonna go bowl. Max, I'm gonna go bowl. That's us.
Well, this is a special treat. We're welcoming my wife, the squirrel, to the cast. Jenny, say hi to the people.
Hello, nation. How are you doing tonight?
Now, Jenny, of course, is part of the SerbskE Tuesday night team, and Jenny,
Tuesday Takeover.
Talk a little bit about how things went last night.
How things went last night?
Yeah.
Well, we I think we lost the first game, but we won the second and third in total by a ton. So it's pretty good. And I got a 204 in my last game, which is very exciting because I am pretty bad.
That's terrific, and it's a large league. There's a lot of teams in that league. It's very competitive.
Yep.
And I think the SerbskE women are positioned somewhere in the middle of the pack.
We are, I think, 7th now.
And it's deeming a Tuesday Takeover.
7th out of 20?
Yeah, 7th is pretty solid.
Maybe?
So,
Yeah.
not bad.
This isn't videoing me, right?
No, just
Okay.
at the moment, just your voice is entertaining America and the world. Checking in on the queue, we have a hello from the Twin Cities. Shout out there. And a special shout out to Winnie Nugget that says, "Go Jeff, go Dad," but I think he means Maxxx Creditz. Well, sometimes when we get to this point of the show, which is the 5th frame of game 2, we have to spice things up a little bit and reach into the SerbskE hopper for a prize package. So, Jenny, you want to dip your arm into the giant bucket of names of SerbskE followers and pull out a name at random? Okay, see what we got there. So the name is Peg Smith from Wisconsin. And Peg is going to be eligible for a SerbskE prize package if her bowling buddy, which is the Fef, strikes in the 6th frame. So something to look forward to. Peg?
Are you talking about Peggy's Petals?
What? I'm not familiar. Tell me more.
Peggy has an amazing business doing cut flowers from her garden in her backyard. She does a great job. She does some home classes. She is trying to bring her business to the next level. She's doing a great job, and her Instagram is Peggy's Petals. So please feel free to check that out. Follow her on the socials.
Wow. So not only is Peg Smith enjoying Peggy's Petals, but she's also eligible now for a major prize if the Fef can strike.
Yeah, Peggy.
Oh. Well, sometimes it doesn't work out as you would hope, and sorry, Peg, you don't win any prizes for a solid 10 pin by the Fef.
So she doesn't get the prize now?
No prize.
Oh. Boo.
Boo hoo. Great to see people joining from all around the globe, though. We have people patching in from as far as California. I see Minnesota in the house. I see Michigan in the house. The Carolinas.
Okay, I'm going to have the Fef back here. All right, I'm going to make room for the Fef again.
The squirrel leaving the booth, but thank you for your comments. Great to see you. Welcome back, Fef. Pretty solid shot there, I thought.
Thank you. Yeah. Do we
You
see
let
this?
you let your bowling buddy down there. We had a prize package on the line for Peggy from Aguanago, but it's okay. Maybe we'll give somebody another shot later. No fault of yours. I thought you threw a pretty decent shot.
Man, I've got this headset all twisted up like a pretzel.
Well, we're about halfway through game 2, and remember that there's a large handicap advantage for Rich Miller's Pro Shop. The SerbskEs have made a dent into that, mostly at the hands of John, the Dr. Workla, who's perfect through 5. And the SerbskE Club trails by approximately 158 pins, about halfway through the match.
But who's counting?
Kind of important here for the SerbskEs to flip the script and make some headway in game 2 and give us a chance at the salsa in game 3. Another big letdown. I feel like I'm acting as a cooler here, kind of cooling off the vibe, Fef. Even every time I mention that somebody's got something going, it seems to reverse the curse.
Yeah. He had a good run.
And room to start another one. I think that's has to be the mentality.
Yeah.
Come back and make your best shot on the next one. Can't dwell on the
All right.
on the miss hits.
So as we watch Mark Ignatowski take out the 8 there. Finish off the SerbskE's 6th frame. I think it would be a good opportunity to remind folks that, our friends at Chip Magnet are giving us a nice deal on salsa at chipmagnetsalsa.com. You get 25% off your purchase of $30 or more if you enter in that promo code BWTF2024 at checkout. So good stuff for folks who haven't given it a try yet. Nice opportunity to get some on the cheap.
Thanks again to everybody at Chip Magnet Salsa. And we had Jim here live last year. This year he's on the lanes bowling, but still patching in for the live stream. Huge thank you for them for supporting this event. Now the Fef has made his way back up to the lanes, trying to build some momentum for the SerbskEs here. Really kind of struggling to kind of keep things going their direction. That's a formidable opponent in Rich Miller's Pro Shop. And the Fef, the 7 count. Iggy joining us in the booth. And Mark, some tough sledding out there. What do you think? What do you think's going on out there?
Yeah, Jeff, it's
Max?
oh gosh, I'm really off my game tonight in multiple phases, but I did run down a 4 count split, so that's good. No, we're just not hitting the head pin high enough, and we're not making our 3 spares like everybody else is. So, Max, what are you drinking tonight?
Gin and tonic.
Keeps the lungs, keeps the pipes clean. So we're gonna get Pete maybe with a ball change here. We had a little huddle.
You know, Mark, that Max is available. If anybody out there needs someone to come and, maybe your kid's having a birthday party or maybe a soccer game, or better yet, maybe you have an open bar wedding. Max is happy to show up with his camera crew of 1, which is usually Pete. And, we might throw down a couple pops, maybe dance with some of your dates, and then capture some great footage and make some memories. Maybe introduce a fun quiz that we can capture.
Oh, Max, do we
Feel free
do
to
we
hit us
start
up on
to-
the socials if you want Max to show up at one of your live events.
at Maxxx Creditz, 3 X's? Do we have a count on our audience is starting to grow significantly?
We've been talking about that. We need the audience to kind of get behind the SerbskEs, but it kind of works both ways, doesn't it? You kind of need to create something for them to cheer about, but then again,
No, it
you
starts with the
thrive off
players on
their
the field.
vibe, don't you?
It starts with the players on the field. We have to be better than what we are today. Oh, look at that. Get that 10 pin
Feel
out.
free to use that one.
I'm gonna try.
Thrive on the vibe.
I'm going to try to. Max, I'll be back.
All right, Mark, we're asking for something special here. SerbskE's really struggling to create any momentum tonight. I'm rarely at a loss for words, Serge.
Yeah.
But I don't know what to say. SerbskEs just can't get it going.
No, get a little momentum going.
What do you attribute this to? Was it? I mean, it was a long day of setup, all the equipment, and the FEF was here at 2:30 for a 6:30 start.
Yeah, I don't think that's the problem. I think lanes have been a little tight, little TIT tight. Yeah, it's just disappointing. You come out, you look forward to a game all year.
I mean, I'm looking at your opponents. I see
There's a lot of splits up there.
I see 6 splits up there. I
Yeah.
see some opens. I don't know that the SerbskEs are capitalizing on this. I think we're not being opportunistic.
No. Now I will say this: like we're only down. We're down 100 with 3 frames to go. I think we can figure this out. Rich, your pro shop is kicking us in the face here. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, appreciate that. Happy Thanksgiving.
We've said this before, though. Bowling magic can happen at any time.
Right. I think
it's time.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a big 3 frames right here, and let's see if Dom's got a double working. Dom seems like he's kind of finding it here this game.
Looking a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah. Of Dom 3-bagger.
He's covering a lot of boards.
Yeah. Could get us on the right track here. Oh, another 10 pin.
Such a high risk, high reward shot, though.
It is. But that drove right through the pocket. That was high flush. That 10 pin should go down there. Coach of the St. John's Redmonds, Rick Pitino, is in the house. Ooh, Rick Pitino, legendary coach. St. John's must not be playing tonight in Big East action.
Now, for those wondering, there's a guy in our league that looks a lot like Rick Pitino. So we refer to him as Pitino.
His name is Pitino.
We call him Pitino.
I'm not even sure of his real name at this point. He's Pitino. Much like, he's Pitino.
Absolute dead ringer.
Dead ringer. Speaking of dead ringer, let's see if Fef can get the 10 pin out here.
Fef doing his best to contribute, as he always does. He's legendary in the Feftacular.
Yeah, he's got room for 243 if he can punch out here. His name is in there. That came up a little light. There's room on the. You get it outside, it's coming in heavy, and you get it in the oil in the middle, and it gets a little light. So, the bowlers are working through this.
Have to adjust to those conditions. Yeah, it's all about the adjustments.
That's a big night too. We're in first place right now. We're trying to keep our hold on first place. Oh, Fef makes that. Good. All right. Let's see if I can get off the schneid here.
So for those wondering, Pete mentioned that the SerbskEs came in to the night with a first place lead. Approximately 13.5 points over second place, Strikey McStrikeface. But Fef, that 0 that the SerbskEs put on the board game 1 isn't going to help the cause. And, game 2 still has a little tread on the tires, but the SerbskEs are going to have to do something really, really special to close this gap.
Yeah.
And I'm being polite when I phrase it that way.
This tell Mueller to go away. He looked like he was on his way out.
Rich Miller did stop in to check in on the pro shop progress. I think he was pleased.
Okay.
And Serge on the 10-pin conversion, no problem.
But yeah, it's about 104 pins.
I don't know if spares are going to be enough, F. I think we need to almost.
We need some strikes.
SerbskE's need strikes, and they might need to take that off the sheet.
Yeah.
So, Fef, I know that you enjoy the SerbskE traditions and the history of this team. But one of the things that's been largely absent tonight has been some of the songs.
Yeah.
SerbskE's are kind of famous for certain times of the night where certain sequences of things occur and having a song ready to go. And it's been kind of quiet in that space.
Really, I feel like in most of the Feftaculars, it's kind of like that, where you have to grind out our salsa wins, but we could use some late magic here, maybe a part-time striker. Or
now, not to open up a can of worms, but you mentioned that it's been a grind in some of the previous Feftaculars.
Mm-hmm.
And for those that really pay close attention to this, last year there was a lot of controversy at the end of the Feftacular, where we thought that the premier flooring team had won the salsa, but then based on some league rules and some adjustments to handicap, there was a reversal of that decision.
Yeah.
Kind of strange.
A little bit strange, but we'll take it.
Hopefully avoiding controversy tonight.
Yeah. Good to
All right.
see.
So to recap things, go ahead, Fef.
I was going to say good to see Iggy back on the strike train, but he's been solid on that lane, for a good chunk of this game anyway.
Yeah, as I look at the scoreboard, Fef, there's some pockets of success, right? I mean, Mark Gutowski has 4 of the last 5 strikes. And the Doctor opened up with the first 5. The Fef opened up with the first 4. So for the most part, there's been some areas of success, but just not sustainable in a way that the SerbskE's have been able to overcome their opponents. So, Serge, at this point of the match, we start looking at those head-to-head matchups.
We got to try to get
a reminder
every point
for our
we can.
audience that we're also going head-to-head, and those are valuable points to capture. So, at the moment, we have Wyman Hotchkiss with 142 in the 9th. Dominic Leap, 157 in the 8th with a strike up in the 9th.
There we go.
So, Dominic,
I'm going to get up to bowl, but I just want to wish a happy Thanksgiving to the Railbird. I see the Railbird is up on the screen.
Oh, happy Thanksgiving to the Railbird. You and your family, Kiki, all the kids. Shout out to the Railbird, one of the OG SerbskE members from back in the day. Don't know if Joe still picks up a ball here and then, but welcome back anytime you want to. Just show up on a Wednesday. We'll throw you in the lineup and roll the dice and see what happens.
Okay, credits.
Well, we talked about the SerbskE Club probably needing to strike their way out to even have a chance in this game, and they're doing just that.
Yep.
Great job by the Fef.
Thank you.
Punching one out there. Pete following suit. Now putting it in the capable hands of the Doctor, who also struck.
Had to move right a little bit, and I was, I'm course, when you do that, you're hoping that it doesn't jump early. So
you're finding some hold out there.
Gave
on the
it
right
a little
side. Okay.
speed. And
All right.
fortunately, it ended up where it needed to be. But
I like the adjustment, Fef. And
there we go.
Mark Ignatowski filling in the 9th frame for the SerbskE's with a perfect foundation laying frame.
Kangaroo.
That's a kangaroo. So, Fef, the shout out of kangaroo. Now, this came out in Feftacular II last year. This topic came up. But very early in SerbskE history, there was an opponent team, when they would get all 5 strikes, would do a chant. Kangaroo, 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 roo. So, of course, sometimes we're at our best when we're stealing other people's ideas, and we affectionately made that our own. And occasionally, when we get an all-strike frame, we'll do the kangaroo chant.
There you go.
One of those little subtle SerbskE things that make bowling
like
more special. So Pete Serbiak commenting that the SerbskE's are in the process of reversing the figure 4. So for wrestling fans out there, Rich Miller's Pro Shop had the SerbskE's absolutely down on the mat with a 2 count submission hold, and the SerbskE's are in the process of reversing it, and Pete is optimistic that we can garner a few points here in the second game.
Yeah.
There's still time.
So because we're in kind of a different position this year,
this is a high traffic area.
It is a high traffic area, but there's less space by 1 and 2 than there was on the other end. So we're kind of back against the wall with the vantage point kind of above the crowd. So there are people, right in front of, under where the camera is. There we go.
And as soon as you mention back against the wall, the Dominator delivers a strike with his own back against the wall. This could be just what the SerbskE Club needs. They have 7 strikes in a row, Fef.
Yep.
The SerbskE's appear to be queuing up a special song. Let's see what Dominic can do here, maybe to deliver.
Oh.
Once again, heartbreak and disappointment. We had a song ready to go. I guess we're going to have to put that back in our pocket and bust it out later.
Oh.
All right, so a gentle reminder that the head-to-head matches matter, and
D-O-M, he covers boards. D-O-M,
hopefully our microphones picked that up. The SerbskE's did serenade the Dominator for his 1-point victory. That is the first SerbskE point of the night. So handicap is included in the head-to-head matches, and Dominic posted a 205 scratch, 235 with handicap, beating his opponent, Wyman Hotchkins, with 224. So the SerbskE's are on the board, and the match is still within reach. The Fef certainly doing his part to keep this match interesting. And the Fef can win his head-to-head point. So the SerbskEs appear to actually be reversing that figure 4 that we talked about, giving themselves a good chance. Iggy, we're trying to close it out here. I mean, there's no doubt you guys need to finish strong, but
Missed one on that one.
Fef doing all he could there. Short of
Missed the
striking.
messenger.
Yeah. But he's going to punch out a solid 220 plus. He's going to earn a point. That's a second point of the night
That's
for
what
the
we need to
SerbskE
keep
Club.
doing. Yeah, build upon points, Jeff. A lot of times it doesn't happen the first game. You just got to keep grinding out there, and that's why we're such good bowlers. We just grind and grind and grind.
Ew.
The stat of the night, and I don't want to. Well, we won't talk about it, but we have only lost one second game this year.
Wow,
Entire season.
That's impressive.
We're
This
11
deep
and
into
1.
the season.
So we gotta see what we can do here to finish out. Missing 10 pins helps them. Open, doors open. Ziggy's gonna unlock the door here, let some people in. Pete's made a ball change and he's moved as well. Max.
So the second bowler for Rich Miller's Pro Shop
Bang.
Jason punched out a scratch 124 with handicap of 201. Lost his point, but the third bowler, Dean,
accelerated. Dean.
Yep, 241 with handicap will beat Serge. So the Rich Miller's Pro Shop will earn a point in the 3-hole.
Yep.
And 2 more points to be determined before
like
we
John's in
total
good
everything
shape.
up.
Oh, Pete's struggling in the 10th frame tonight. That didn't help. All right, now we got to do some work here. I'm going to go mentally prepared, Jeff. Max.
The SerbskEs are known for the mental preparation. We work hard on that. Basically spend the whole summer working on our mental game. But the Serge Open in the 10th frame has not helped the cause. So 169 for Pete, losing his point to Dean. John Workala with a stubborn 7-pin. They call him the doctor. John doesn't hold a medical degree, just has a nickname of the doctor, kind of like Dr. J. Tony Serbiak commenting, boom, goes the dynamite. Well, Tony, I don't disagree. This game is going to go boom one way or the other. Still to be determined. We're trying to see if John can gather some count here in the 10th frame. Now, the Rich Miller Pro Shop has completed their side. The 4th and 5th bowlers both opened in the 10th frame. To the tune of 210 and 216 respectively with handicap. So John Workala has won his point. That's 3 points for the SerbskE Club with 1 to go. And Fef Mark Ignatowski looks to be in good shape. He's got his elbow working. Strike here will almost
get it. Yes.
Old Max almost jinxed another one, but Mark pulled through with some use of the force. And that will be enough to seal a SerbskE victory in game 2 with a fair chunk of points. I think Mark will get his. And we have effectively turned the tables and made this match interesting heading into game 3. So basically the SerbskE Club has done what they needed to do.
Yeah, had to have that one. And now we just got to get back on it for game 3.
I do think the crowd that has accumulated is having an influence here.
Yeah.
Crowd is really starting to gather, starting to pull behind the SerbskE Club, as they always do. So John Workala with a nice 227. And Mark Ignatowski with a fabulous 237. So something that we call a heavy bottom there, Fef, with some big scores.
For sure.
On 4 and 5 spots for the SerbskE Club.
Hey, I should take this little pause in the action here as an opportunity to plug my newest sponsor, Jerry's Score More Bowling Supply. He's inside Wagner's Lanes in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. You can get a hold of him by phone, 715-559-1822, or on jerry'sscoremorebowlingsupply.com. Bowling balls, bowling bags, accessories, coaching. Jerry does it all.
Thank you, Jerry. Score More Supply.
And if not for Jerry's Score More Bowling Supply, I'd be throwing blank bowling balls because he puts the holes in.
All right, Fef, so we're going to have Ryan Workala, part of the SerbskE Future Stars program, rejoin the booth and give us a recap of where we stand after 2 games. Ryan, the SerbskE's made a huge comeback there. Very late in the game, I might add, but tell us where we stand.
Well, Max, after that solid Game 2 performance, the SerbskE's managed to take 8 points that game, which means on the night, the total score is 10 for Rich Miller's Pro Shop, 8 for your SerbskE Club.
Terrific. And a lot of points yet to be gathered. Remember that not only Game 3, but the totals also count.
Absolutely. There are 18 points still available. 19 points would be needed for a victory in the Feftacular.
Terrific. So hang in there, everybody. A lot of bowling action to go. A lot more SerbskE prize packages to be given away. And remember, Ryan, that if any of our opponents make a split conversion today, they will earn a SerbskE can coolie. Why not? It's possible that might have happened and Max was just asleep at the wheel and didn't even notice, but we'll try to keep a close eye on that.
I'll tell you what, it's hard to see with this massive wall of fans we have just gathered to watch the bowling tonight.
Yeah, I don't know if the audience appreciates, but old Max is situated here way back of the lanes. I can really barely see the action. I'm watching it on a small monitor, but doing my best to deliver and tell the story that is writing itself as we speak. I don't know about you, Ryan, but to old Max here, this is a little bit of a subdued sort of vibe tonight. I mean, the SerbskE's just pulled out a miraculous victory in Game 2, but I'm looking for a little bit more energy. What do you think?
Absolutely. For the intense competition we're seeing tonight, it does feel very low energy compared to Feftacular's past.
And this is the great debate, right? Is it the chicken or the egg? Do the SerbskE bowlers need to create the energy, or do the fans need to kind of, drive that energy? Again, it's a little give and take, I suppose.
Now, not to tease something that may be coming up in the future here, but I think we have fellow future star young Evan, who may be coming on the broadcast briefly here.
Oh, terrific.
Evan is currently subbing in the second league, going on just a few lanes down from us.
Everybody's welcome in the Maxxx Creditz booth. Fun to give our fans a different perspective find out what's going on in SerbskE Nation as well as Fef Nation. Oh, clap, clap, clap. Hopefully the audience can hear this.
Yes. Over here, team. Over here. Here we go. Ready? D-O-M. Dynamite. D-O-M. I didn't strike. D-O-M. Put $1 in. Or D-O-M. Don't hang me again. All right, y'all.
Finally, Ryan, we're treated to one of those classic SerbskE songs to the tune of AC/DC's TNT, the Dynamite.
I'm not sure if our microphones picked it up, but earlier in the game, or earlier last game, we also had a rendition of that song, I believe.
Wonderful.
That's a good point. We should
All right. As
All right.
previously teased, we have young Evan joining the booth.
Bowling World, this is one of my favorite parts of the night, where we welcome some of the SerbskE future stars into the booth. Now,
Hello. Hey, guys.
say hello to the people.
Hello, people. Hello, SerbskE Nation.
Tell us
How's
who-
it going?
tell us
Fef
who you-
Nation.
Tell us who you are.
My name is Evan Schmantz, also known as Chorizo. Chorizo, right? Yeah, Chorizo.
Now, Evan, old Max wasn't being fair to you. You were once part of the Future Stars program,
Yes.
but you are now a bona fide
Yes.
SerbskE
Yes.
Club member.
Made the debut last season and bowled, I think, twice this year. Once or twice this year already.
Talk to us about that initiation. I heard that's a little, on the borderline of hazing.
Yeah, they had me run 3 miles, drink a gallon of milk every mile. No, I'm just kidding. It was a fun night. It was good to get out there on the lanes and kind of graduate into the adult league program, adult league, not program. And it's a good environment, lots of fun card games, different cheers. I got Hun a couple of times, Black Sheep this year a couple of times too, 4 times I think in one night.
When Future Stars graduate to the actual SerbskE Club, we make you do all the cheers and the chants and the wacky stuff. Make sure that you can recite the card rules.
Exactly, yeah.
We make you maybe bowl in costume. Talk a little bit about
Yes.
that from Halloween.
Oh yeah, Halloween this year. I bowled the night before Halloween on Wednesday. Yeah. And I wore a hot dog costume for practice. Threw 3 shots. The first one was good, and I said I'm gonna keep it on until I don't throw a strike. And that lasted a total of 3 shots, and then I took it off.
Terrific. So I know you were joking about that gallon of milk and that sort of thing, but your actual SerbskE tradition was last year at the state tournament. Now, you bowled state tournament with the SerbskEs, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we tried to get you into Cleo's in Appleton.
We did try to get in Cleo's. At that time, I was only 20. I was 20, not only 20, right?
Close.
20 years old.
Wait. We have a major development. We've got a man down. Man down.
He's still struck. He's still struck.
Did he?
That counts. We'll take that to New York.
Did he stay behind the line?
I think he stayed behind the line.
Wow.
I think he went over the foul line on lane 3, not on lane 2. So that counts. I think that counts.
If there's anybody still on the live stream, you just saw a major development.
All 6 people just saw Pete take a spill.
All 6 people in the stream saw Pete go down for the count, stay behind the line, and still
that's resilience.
Strike.
Resilience.
Now the officials are still clarifying that they're going to the replay just to make sure this is on the up and up. Holy smoke, I've been bowling with Pete for 50 years. I've never seen this happen.
Not a foul. Yeah, they're calling in. New York just gave us the call. Not a foul. Not a foul.
Okay.
Back to Cleo's.
Well, back to Cleo's.
So, yeah, I was trying to get into Cleo's, and the bouncer was being a very strict bouncer and no fun.
It's kind of the bouncer's job.
Yeah, he kind of ruined the fun, right? Then we ended up just going back to the hotel and having a fun time there with a certain prom night. Yeah, that was interesting at the hotel as well.
Not part of the initiation. That part is
Nope.
separate. That you were.
That
referring
was
to.
just a little. It's kind of like a zoo exhibit at one point. That was recorded. Yes.
Some people in the audience asking if that shot by Pete Serbiak was recorded, in case we need to go back to the footage to verify. But
I think we're going to go back to that, put it in the post. I think that deserves its own video.
you know,
Put that out.
I'm noticing that SerbskE's have one of those blue tents like they have in the NFL, and Pete has entered the blue tent. He's being looked at by medical people.
Yeah, I think it was his ankle. It might have. He went down on his ankle weird.
We're gonna have to monitor this situation closely, and this means that you might have to come in
Yeah,
and
this is
sub
gonna
for
be,
Pete if he's unable to complete his game. Wow!
Yeah, it could be like a Malik Willis, Jordan Love kind of situation.
Absolutely. What a development that would be. Are you
Yes.
ready to go?
I'm ready to go. I got my stuff here.
I like that
Just got
attitude.
done subbing for the league down there, so I shot 594. So
okay.
ready to go.
Love that attitude. Let's see if we can get Pete in here, and maybe he can describe what happened.
Hey, Pete. Pete.
All right, so we're gonna swap out Evan with
We gotta get a report on what
with
happened.
Pete Serge Serbiak, who went down for the count and still somehow struck. So, Pete, I was explaining to the people that you were in the blue medical tent that the SerbskEs have set up in the parking lot.
I have passed the concussion protocol.
We have Evan Schmott ready to go. He's able and ready to take your place.
They asked me the concussion baseline questions. I'm fine.
So Maxxx Creditz has to ask the question that the nation wants to know. Did you remove the booty?
No, there was no booty.
No booty was involved.
No booty was involved.
Interesting.
Did
So this was a non-booty slip? Unbelievable.
Oh, apparently it made it all the way to the bar.
This was a non-booty situation.
Non-booty situation. I must have just hit I hit a sticky spot.
Max has been involved in a lot of non-booty situations, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
But
Max
that's a
has
story
also
for
been in
another
a lot
day.
of sticky spots.
No comment.
I've passed the concussion protocol. I'm fine. Yes, I'm fine. I'm fine. I have some oil. On my right side.
A lot of the nation here
concerned
concerned for Pete's safety. We're not sure he's able to continue. He wants to continue.
No, I'm fine.
There's no question about that.
Jeff, I have a double up. Max,
Yes, you do.
I have a double up.
People are continue to call me Jeff.
Yeah, I know.
My name is Max.
Yeah, your name is
Maxxx Creditz.
All right, I'm gonna go bull when Fef makes this 10 pin.
Once again, we talked about this earlier, but Maxxx Creditz is available for your party, bar mitzvah, wedding, especially if there's an open bar. Pete and I will show up. Pete is my camera crew of one.
Yep.
We'll have a few pops.
Yep.
We'll dance with your dates.
Yep.
And we might record and make some memories for you and your audience.
Making memories.
That's what it's all about.
If you have a wedding schedule for 2025, hit up Maxxx Creditz at MAXXX Creditz.com, but be careful when you type that in.
Pretty sure they took that one down. Maybe hit up the SerbskE Club on the socials.
I'm going to try to stay upright.
All right, so despite that near fatal injury distraction, back to the action here. The SerbskE Club apparently doing what I think they need to do, which is to strike early, strike often.
Yep.
Kind of put some pressure on their opponent,
Like
right?
the Cobra Kai.
Like the Cobra Kai. All joking aside, Mark, in this league, there was a Cobra Kai team, right?
There was. They
Kind
were
of a
highly
mixed
highly
team of
decorated.
some
One of the first mixed teams in
dudes
our
and
league.
some gals and some softball players. Yeah.
Did you by chance catch our old buddy Milt coming in?
That was
We had
just
the Super Milty.
We haven't talked about it,
Okay.
but why don't you
Okay. So
explain
right
to the
after
people?
Pete took his dive for the ages down lane 3,
Yes.
our friend, our longtime friend Milt Nitritz, who we bowled with as we were kids, one of the best guys we've ever hung around with, who's passed since then. But he used to leave a 4.5 or a 4.57 every week after he stopped bowling with us, we called it the Milty or the Super Milty, and we swear at certain times during the bowling season, when the time is right, Milt comes back, and when someone leaves a 4-5 or a 4-5-7, we think it's Milt nodding down from heaven saying, "Hey, good job, guys."
A mentor in so many ways, and still a big part of the club.
Pete's been checked out by the medical staff and been deemed fit for activities today. I got to go bowl though, Max.
So back to the action. The SerbskE Club doing what they need to do, which is to really get out of the gate here in Game 3 with a solid start. John Werkela has the first 3. Pete Serbiak has the first 3. Mark Ignatowski looking for the first 3 with this shot on lane 1.
This would be the fat bottom girls start, heavy on the bottom.
I talked a little bit about the fat bottom in Game 2 when you guys.
How about it? Oh.
You know, it's funny how many times I mentioned that somebody's got a string going tonight. And old Max has been nothing but a giant cooler.
That's called the announcer curse.
Yeah. It's a blessing and a curse.
Ma Bell, ladies and gentlemen. Eli, are you off? Oh, okay. Is there do we have,
Mark Ignatowski converted the spare.
Do we have commenters anywhere?
And the SerbskEs are clean through 3 frames. Remember, that's one of the keys to the game.
Oh, we want to get off to a quick start here and try to put the pressure on him a little bit, Max.
I can't say enough about Game 2, how important that was just to get back in the match. You're down 10-8 on the scoreboard.
That was a huge Game 2 win.
A lot of huge out there for the taking.
Let's see if the Dominator can keep us going here.
You can bring out the dinosaur map for everybody in case you need a little protection.
One more time.
I'm supervising. I'm here because Ashley can't be here. I'm a surrogate.
No, where is Ashley?
She had to work late tonight.
SerbskE Club member working late on the night before Thanksgiving. Ouch. Ugh.
Now, when we say Ashley, we're talking about Ashley O, the All-American.
We're talking about the All-American.
Also known as Sriracha.
Nickname is Sriracha because she can be a little spicy on the lanes.
She has a fiery attitude and a big member of the SerbskE Club.
Huge member. She gives us a little bit of attitude.
Little attitude.
I don't know where she gets that from.
In addition to some outstanding bowling.
One of the best bowlers.
Learned it from her mother.
Careful. You know, this door right next to me keeps opening, and I'm wondering, do we have a weather forecast? Do we have an updated weather forecast from John Milan?
Max doesn't have that within arm's reach.
No.
I have some more salsa facts.
Okay. That'd be a good time for that, Jeff.
I can do that.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm going to go bowl.
So we haven't done this in a while, but there are 6 different types of salsa. You have salsa roja, pico de gallo, salsa taqueria, salsa verde, salsa de, Max can't pronounce that one, aguacate, I think I have that right, salsa criolla, and fruit salsa. Again, just some fun
I had a
salsa
feeling
facts
that.
for the audience to enjoy. And the Fef is back.
Oh, yeah.
Fef, I was just talking about the SerbskEs seems to be doing what they need to do here in Game 3 is to come out of the chute strong and try to build this momentum to carry them through to a salsa victory.
Yeah.
A lot of game left, though.
It's been a struggle. I mean, you know, you do your best to try and hang in, but man. All right. So, wow. Yeah. A lot of comments on the foul, but Bill Jones says, join late, but I'm here. What's Iggy's score? So Iggy had gone 240, 230.
That's correct.
Yeah.
He's doing what he usually does,
Which
is to lead the SerbskE Club, and I think he's high in the pair through 2.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree.
And Bill, great that you can join us. I think Bill is a coworker of Mark's.
Oh, okay.
Man, it's tough to tame that tiger, but
Joem says we need instant replay.
If only.
If only. Let's see. You'll have to send that clip of Pete falling to Roy Firestone for his hilarious sports blooper show. I've always told my my guests that I'm more Roy Firestone than Mike Wallace.
I can see that.
And then Jeff, Ashley's attitude comes from her father, the All-American.
We were talking about the All-American Sriracha.
Yep.
Ashley O. Not in the house tonight. Apparently she had to work, but a huge member of the SerbskE Club, an important part of our foundation and our future.
And
I have to agree with some of those comments. So we are going to have to get that clip of Pete, Serge Serbiak, falling at the line, somehow staying behind the line, striking. I mean, it just writes itself.
Yeah.
But we're going to have to get that footage, Steph,
replay assistance,
and just send it to everywhere we can think of.
Send it to New York.
Yes, send it to New York.
Bill says, I want to be like Mark when I grow up. And as he slaps out the 7, I can understand that. Because I do too.
We all want to be Mark, but it starts with being left-handed. So, Fef, we talked earlier about some of the house giveaways. So in the first game, if all bowlers strike in the 5th frame, it's 5 bowler bucks. In the second game, if there's 25 clean frames to start the game, again, 5 bowler bucks. But in game 3, the house giveaway is a 7th frame all-strike pizza.
Oh.
So we still have that on the horizon.
Okay.
In addition to some other SerbskE giveaways. So it's time to draw another bowling buddy.
There we go.
From the hopper of SerbskE Nation. These would be people that are following the SerbskE Club online. So I'm going to reach into the hopper, pull out a name. And this is going to be Pete Serbiak's bowling buddy in the 5th frame. So if Pete strikes, Kevin W. from Franklin will win a SerbskE prize package. We haven't had anybody really win the prize package tonight, but it's still out there for the taking. And we'll talk a little bit more about what that prize package involves if Pete can strike. So Kevin W. from Franklin, hang in there. You have your shot to win a SerbskE prize package in just a moment. Once again, this is Maxxx Creditz, joined by Evan Schmont in the booth.
Yep.
And Evan, we've been talking about a number of things, but we're kind of struggling to give away some SerbskE prizes tonight. Every time we've had it queued up, the SerbskEs haven't delivered. But if Pete Serbiak can strike here, his bowling buddy Kevin from Franklin will win a SerbskE prize.
Ooh. Well, we better hope Pete strikes here and delivers for his buddy.
This is a big shot in a number of ways.
Yes, it is.
So let's hone in on lane 1. Pete Serbiak trying to strike for his bowling buddy.
He delivers?
Oh, that's money. So
that was perfect. Textbook.
Congratulations, Kevin W. from Franklin. You have won the SerbskE prize, and the prize is a ride on the back of Stretch's Harley to a church festival of your choice this summer. Now, it's a one-way ride, and that's for liability purposes. We can't risk. We couldn't get the type of insurance necessary to guarantee your safety to get you home.
Yep.
So this is a one-way ticket to a church festival of your choice on the back of Big Stretches Harley. Congratulations, Kevin.
I have been on Stretches Harley before. It is fun. Let's just say that he knows how to handle that thing. Obviously, one way, but the second way is liability reasons. We're
it's a one-way ticket is the best we could do. Maybe we'll throw in a T-shirt or something else.
Oh yeah, or a drink ticket, something.
Yeah, for those that haven't won anything, we still have a couple giveaways yet to go. Talk more about that in a frame or two. So some great questions from the listening audience. Beth/Jeff asking if we're going to be streaming the after party. Well, oh no, that's a big no.
What happens in the Bugland room, SerbskE room, stays in the SerbskE
What
room.
happens there stays there. Oh, nothing more needs to be said about that.
Striker.
Only you, part-time striker.
Only him,
part-time striker.
Part-time striker. Good job, Fef.
There it is. The part-time striker has made an appearance.
It was the Fef that was
Serenade of the Fef. Nobody better to be on the receiving end of that than the Fef.
Perfect.
A part-time striker, if there ever was one. Andrew Charles Pfeffer.
See if we can get someone else going right now, or we can get Kangaroo, right? When they all strike, or they do we all got strikes, but then they just stop.
Right.
Which is good. Obviously, you want to hear that because then the more strikes, the better.
Serbskis have a number of chants and songs in their bag of tricks.
Yes.
So Evan, talk a little bit about what you see going out there. Now, granted, we can't really see the action when watching it on a laptop screen. But from my point of view, I don't see an open.
No.
And we're into the sixth frame.
Yeah.
I think we've got
25 clean?
Yeah, 25
that's
plus
5 bowler
clean.
bucks? Is that 5 bowler bucks still, or is that
No, that's game 2, unfortunately. But this is a 7-game 7th frame pizza. If we'll strike in the 7th frame.
So hopefully we deliver on that. But yeah, it looks like they've been keeping it clean. I know first game they struggled with, I got the report from Ryan and I was bowling down on the other side of the house. In game 2, I heard they picked it up a little bit. It's just Rich Miller's Pro Shop has just been staying with them. But if they can keep it clean, that's the name of the game. Obviously, you want to make your...
And as a team, you don't want to be that one guy that doesn't that opens up the floodgate of opens, right?
Yeah, well, let's hope they can bounce back here. It's a team game, obviously. Got to pick up the Fef. I think they can do it. I think Pete's going to strike here.
The amount of jinx that I have delivered tonight has been unbelievable. When I talk about 26 clean frames in a row, and the Fef opens in the 27th, it's unbelievable how many times. It's at least the 4th or 5th time that I brought up one of these topics, and only to see the Serbskis fail. But on a brighter note,
let's see here.
Serbskis are within about.
Yep, there it is. Pete strikes, picks him up right away.
Serbskis are within about 80 pins here.
That's striking distance. Only the 6 frames. They got obviously 6 more frames yet to go. Looks like they're
good job by Pete picking up his teammate, the Fef, striking there, righting the wrong, if you will.
Yep.
And the Serbskis are within reason. I think about 80 pins down.
Mm-hmm.
Here in the 6th frame, but actually a pretty comfortable place.
Yeah,
if you think about it.
See, we got Dom's got 3, John's got 1 up there. Now he's got 2.
Number of
Iggy's got
strikes
2.
working.
So we got a lot of strikes up there. So now we're down to 61. So it's just keep cutting that lead away. You don't have to win it right away.
So the battle for the salsa is still in jeopardy, but the Serbskis appear to be doing what they need to do to close this handicap gap.
Exactly.
I like to just to kind of get that into a place where the score's about even heading into the 9th, 10th frame would be a good goal.
Do you know how much handicap the other team was given?
Yeah, it's about 264 pins. That's a considerable amount. Basically an extra bowler.
Okay. Looks like Iggy got a little robbed on that shot right there. It was a good shot. 7-pin. I do not like 7-pins. I tend to miss them, even though I'm a right-handed bowler.
You know, for the most part, that's been Max's observation today. So the SerbskEs have been making quality shots.
Yep.
Some stubborn corner pins, some 7s, some 10s. You know, occasional 8-pin. But for the most part, doing what they need to do to win this match.
Exactly.
I think they're well on their way to.
I think they'll pick it up this 7th frame,
securing
like you
a
said.
salsa victory.
Yeah, like you said, 7th frame, big pizza frame here.
I don't want to call this election early, but for the most part, it seems to be favoring the SerbskE Club.
So is Beth S? That's Beth and Jeff, right?
You know exactly who that is.
Chef Sonneman, best boss ever, former boss now. Unless I go and work for him in retirement in South Carolina. I'm sure he's got an open room there for me.
Maybe in the pool house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pool house. I'll sleep on a pool floaty.
Pond
It's a lot
would be good
warmer
for
than it
you.
is here, yeah.
If you had Dom in the first 4-bagger pool, cash your tickets to 7 drinks.
So Pete making a good point there. So reminder for our audience that the SerbskEs are playing a poker card game. Every time they strike or make a split, they take a card. But there's some bonus cards involved. And the first 4-bagger, the first 4 in a row by a SerbskE Club member earns an extra card in game 3. And Dominic struck in the 7th.
Yep.
And earned that extra card. That's pretty valuable.
Yeah. Took it to the 7th, but at least we got it done. Obviously, wanted to happen at least some point in the game because that means you're striking at least 4 times in a row. Let's see if Pete can deliver here. He's been pretty consistent on hitting his mark, hitting where he wants it to be. I got a text from Jeff. He said, "Room is always open." Sounds good, Jeff. I'll book a flight there when I get a break from school.
Max might join you. Tough break for Pete. That looked like a pretty decent shot.
Yeah, it didn't look terrible.
From my vantage point, I can't see the lanes too well. But
yeah, I'm trying to see, kind of looking through the live stream, but it didn't look like he missed it too much. He just didn't finish, I guess. Wonder if he didn't come through the ball enough on that one. Let's see if we can get at least 2 here because pins are what matters.
Remember, we're still looking for an opponent split conversion, which will earn a SerbskE.
You got 2 there.
Canned koozie.
Okay. That's a good giveaway.
It's a good giveaway.
See, it's all about the pins. As long as they get the pins, it's all they need. Nothing more than just getting pins, right?
Well, some would say it's all about the pins, but usually the SerbskEs say it's all about the people, and that's bowling. So it kind of depends how you look at it. But But let's not sell anybody short. The SerbskEs are here to win.
Yes, they are.
And you need to knock down pins to do that.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, we are as competitive as anybody. But if we don't win, even though we always hope to and expect to win, it is a fun night out, and we try to make it fun. We don't hang our heads. We try to come back the next week and double down.
Exactly.
On the fun.
Yep. And I don't think I've ever seen another bowling team like this where they've had this many fans at a bowling night. I mean, I think there's probably about 3,000 fans here just for the SerbskEs. We had to get some bleachers in here.
Yeah,
it's a community. It's not just one team. It's a community. I wear my SerbskE gear at school, and I know other members of the program will wear their stuff at work. They'll wear it at school. No matter where you are, you'll see the SerbskE merch.
Game day. We wear it on game day on Wednesdays.
Yes, game day is Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
And
I know you said 3,000. I haven't taken the time to count. I don't know that Max can count that high, but I would say that's pretty close.
Yeah, I use my fingers, so
somewhere around there.
Yeah,
bleachers that Village Bowl installed this year. Terrific addition.
If you'd like to buy any merch, there is a link on the Facebook page. All very high quality, very good looking merch no matter what you buy. Always good to rep the brand.
And speaking of repping the brand, remember we're playing for salsa. We're coming up on the end of the match. And the winning team will go home with a case of chip magnet salsa.
That salsa is pretty good as well. I've had some the last 2 years now, and one of the best salsas I've ever had.
Kind of setting the stage here for the finish here, Evan. By Maxx's count, the SerbskE Club are down 53 pins. We're through 7 frames.
Yep.
We have a 4-bagger working for Dominic.
Mm-hmm. And a 3-bagger for the doc.
And a 3-bagger for the doctor in the 4 spot. Now for the opponent, Rich Miller's Pro Shop, Jason, the anchor bowler, does have a 4-bagger of his own. But other than that, we have a host of opens up there. So, again, I don't want to get too far over the tips of my skis, as I say, but it appears that the SerbskE Club are in position to close this out.
Yep.
If they can capitalize and just kind of do what they need to do.
Just go out there and
clean frames.
Yep. Just be clean. That's all that matters. There's Fef delivering.
The salsa
Delivers
is
in the
there
clutch.
for the taking.
Very clutch from the Fef there. Let's see if Pete can pick it back up here. I think he's got it. Pete's very good at that. Is no matter what he does, so just get back on it.
Of all the SerbskE bowlers, I would describe Pete as reliable.
He is reliable, yeah. He's very consistent.
Makes quality shots,
Mm-hmm.
consistent.
Picks up his spares.
Doesn't really beat himself.
No.
Even on occasions that he goes prone and falls into the gutter on the lane next to him, somehow manages to strike. And right on call, delivers a strike there.
Yep. Bounces back.
To close out his match.
Yep. Yeah, that did happen tonight. That's kind of crazy. It's just resilience from him. Pure resilience. You don't know many other bowlers that'll fall down on the lane and get back up and just bowl it as well as he's been bowling this 3rd game.
I like that word, resilience.
Or he could be undaunted. Undaunted. I've heard that word before.
Challenging the Maxxx vocabulary there.
So John here with a 4-pin that looks like he left that. He'll be able to run this down.
So, Evan, we were talking a little bit about Pete and his, you used the word resilience. Pete is the high average in the Wednesday tippers.
Mm-hmm.
Currently at 217, and Pete would tell us that he's down a good 10 pins from last year.
Yeah.
So 217 and a half currently leads the Wednesday tippers. Now, granted, we're only in the early part of the season.
Yep.
And Mark Igatelski is second at 217.3. So the SerbskE Club features 2 of the highest averages in the league.
So they almost got a hanging on John there, but lucky 7-pin standing there to save John from owing $1 and being Sun 2, unless he paid early. But back to that Mark and Pete, it's kind of like a Shaq and Kobe thing. One could say that's before my time, but that's the reference of, Shaq and Kobe, dynamic duos, peanut butter and jelly.
And the Serbskis are famous for setting goals going into the year. And I'll share with you that one of the goals was to hold what we call the podium, which is having the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place high averages in the league.
Okay.
So the gold, the silver, the bronze, the podium. And usually John Werkela, the doctor, will fill one of those 3 spots. He's been a high average bowler in the league. I think he's been an average champion in this league.
Yep.
So at the moment, John is not on the podium, but the Serbskis hold 2/3 of the podium. And now, granted, it's only Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
He's got a long way to go.
He's got a ways to go. Yeah. I think he'll pick it up. I know he was dealing with some knee injuries early in the season. I remember talking to him about that at coaching on Saturday mornings. And he's been dealing with some knee injuries. I think he's moved on from that now, which is good to hear. Never like to hear of injuries on the field out there, right?
Well, there's no doubt about it. The SerbskE team is aging. That's been one of the criticisms of this roster. They've signed a number of people to lifetime contracts. Iggy is one. I'm another. Serge is a third. And, that's why we talk about that Future Stars program being so important. We need that stable of young stallions
system.
to sometimes come in. And that's you, Ashley, Tyler. I could go on and on. We've got the deepest bench in the league.
We got the system that's the future. The future is bright. That's
it's a system that has produced some proven stars.
Yep.
So I love that we call this show, Bowling with the Fef. And today we are literally watching the Fef bowl. And usually he's behind the mic.
Yeah.
Right? But today we have the opportunity to actually watch Andrew get out on the lanes, and he's on lane 1 at the moment, looking for 3 in a row and delivering.
Boom. You got 3 in a row right there.
Great shot by the Fef.
Yes. That was textbook.
Fef with a clean game for the most part. One hiccup in the 6th frame. Pete Serbiak with a missed split conversion in the 7th frame.
Peek and deliver
And
here.
Mark Zatowski with a missed single pin spare in frame 6. So other than that, the SerbskEs have pretty much filled in strikes and spares.
Yep, there we go. Pete's got a double now.
Pretty
Building
much
back off of that split.
What they need to do to close this gap. They're within 26 pins.
They're only down 100. I was just told by Ziggy, the best bouncer in the business, that they're down 120 in total. So that's within reach as well. Good mathematicians. I myself am not very good at math, but that's okay.
I love that the audience is involved and really a scoreboard watching, as we say. And
yep.
There is an outside chance if the SerbskEs really close strong. And
there we go.
The first 3 bowlers have doubles up there.
Yes.
That's what I mean by closing strong. They can make up the total stagger and really perhaps take a significant position for this salsa
bowl.
Ooh, I like that. The
salsa bowl. It's kind of like the college football playoffs, but better.
I like it. Well done.
Let's see what Iggy can do here. Oh my gosh, that's 7 pin.
Evan, we really appreciate you stepping in. I think this is allowing the Fef to just kind of relax and focus on the bowling. It's, again, I talked about this earlier in the cast tonight, but there's a 4-hour drive, a few hours of setup involved with all the equipment. Kudos to the Fef for really, there
we go, Iggy.
Putting in a full day's work and then bowling on top of that and trying to enjoy it, having his own moment.
Not sure if that was picked up, but Iggy right there was the only one on the team who didn't strike that frame. So if you heard a bunch of clapping, it was not just the live stream messing up at all. It was the team chant that you didn't strike. 103 is the total now. And Dom is on a tear. Down to 70 now.
I've been bowling with Dominic for a good 25 years, and I would describe him as a streaky bowler. He's on a good streak right now.
Yes, he is.
Really finishing game 3 strong, really putting the pressure on his opponent. Dom has clearly won his point in his head-to-head matchup.
That pressure he put on his opponent might be able to turn coal into a diamond. That's how much pressure he put on him.
In bowling first, you really are setting a tone, aren't you?
Yes.
You really have to.
You got to bring it out.
You do.
And he continues again.
He's very comfortable in that first position. And right on cue, the Dominator strikes again.
There is a super melt on the left lane. Super melt there.
So, Evan, check my math. I can't see the scoreboard too well, but can Dom throw 270 with a strike?
270, yes. I actually
Fantastic.
just confirmed with Ryan because, like I said, I'm not good at math. But
Max was told there'd be no math involved.
Yeah. Well, he shot. And that's his split. That's the split he's always good at converting. So even if he would have left that earlier, he would have made that. But
that's a wonderful
good thing for spot.
66 for the D-O-M-Anator. Dominic Lee.
That was a beautiful game. Beautiful comeback from Dom. That's also resilient or undaunted, you could say, the comeback, because what did Dom had game 2? He had a 205 and he goes up to 260. He had a 148 game 1. That is what you call resilience.
Well,
does not give up.
Yeah, that's something there. That's a lot of variance, but we talked about him being a little streaky, and let's call it what it is. He delivered when it counted, when it was most needed.
Yes, that is one of the big things of the SerbskE Club is you are resilient and you do not give up, right?
That's correct. So we're carefully tracking the points as the Serbskis try to close this out. Dominic has his point in the head-to-head matchup.
Yep.
In the 2-hole, the Fef has left a split and, of course, did not convert. So
at least
the
he got
Fef,
2. 189 for the Fef. 198 with handicap.
And the Fef will lose his point to Jason
Just
for Rich Miller's Pro Shop.
By 13 pins, I think. No, 23. That's
pretty
close
close.
game. That's right.
So game 3 is currently even 1-1. And there's still a 58 pin
58
advantage.
58 pin advantage by the Serbskis right now. Pete's got 2 strikes up there, and who's he bowling? Dean has an open going into the 10th. But Dean here does get quite a bit more handicap than Pete does.
Well, that's a big strike by Pete Serge Serbiak in the 10th frame.
Yep. Now the Serbskis are up by 81 for the total.
Pretty comfortable lead.
Yes.
And we're starting to unwrap the box of salsa. There will definitely be some salsa celebrating in the SerbskE Club following the match.
Maybe a salsa shower for the salsa player of the game.
Ooh, I don't
Chip
know what that
magnet
is,
player
but
of the
it
game.
sounds kind of funky.
Neither do I, but I just thought it sounded funny.
Leave that to the
there's Gatorade
imagination
showers.
of the audience.
There's Gatorade showers, and there's now there's salsa showers.
Something like that,
Yep.
right? A giant thing of salsa being dumped over Iggy's head, or
That'll be whoever wins Chip Magnet Player of the Game.
I think
If
I
that's a
know
thing.
the people that could make this happen.
I do too.
So in the head-to-head match for the third position bowlers, Dean has punched out a 141.
Yep.
Takes him to 218 with handicap.
And Pete gets a 244 game. A nice finish there. Like we said, he bounces back after the well after those opens or anything that were to mess up.
That's another SerbskE point.
Yes. Dominant point as well by 37. Beat him by 37. This total is very well still there from our mathematician we got.
Well, we have another open by the Rich Miller Pro Shop as John Workala tries to convert
10 pin here.
Yet another 10 pin. John pretty solid on these tonight.
Yep.
And right on cue.
Boom.
Converting that.
That's one thing I've noticed about the SerbskE Club is you guys are we are very consistent on single pin spares and corner pins.
That's what it takes to be successful at this level.
Yeah, very consistent. John was one of my coaches while I was in the junior program. Helped develop the game.
I don't think we've mentioned that tonight. So John is a certified bowling coach.
Yep, as am I right now too. Decided
is,
to
very involved with the youth
Yes.
program here at Village Bowl. As are you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Terrific.
work together as coaches now.
giving something back.
Yes.
Right? Because you came up through that program.
Yeah, want to
pretty
continue
cool.
that movement of youth bowling because it's kind of on the rise again, I'd say. I know it's starting to pop everywhere. Pro bowling is back on Fox now, which is awesome, but looks like we got an update in the scoring. John shot a 235, which is 253 handicap. And Doug, I believe that is, shot a 129, which takes it to 198 handicap. So John will get another point for the SerbskE Club.
I mean, the SerbskEs are really turning in a terrific game 3 here. Let's recap. Dominic, 266.
189 for the Fef.
244 for Serge.
And 235 for the Doc.
Wow.
And let's see here if Iggy can run this down. He can finish with, I believe if my math is so.
Iggy can punch out for 202. And the Fef is working on getting those scores back. There we go.
The Fef is great with technology.
Terrific. A couple clicks of the mouse.
I would not know how to do that.
Now the audience can see these fabulous scores that the SerbskE Club are turning in here to close out the match. They are going to go home with some salsa. It's a big victory. I'm declaring it.
That is comeback of the year. That's got a chance to win an SB at the end of the year.
Ignatowski putting in an exclamation point on the night.
Put in that point, and he is going to hoist that salsa up. Hoisting the salsa. Let's see. He's going to get in frame
Mark
pretty
is
soon.
hoisting a case of salsa
There it
over
is.
his head.
And maybe he's going to take a
Pumping
salsa
his
shower.
fist.
The salsa shower may
baby.
happen. And now the Fef is back.
It is official. The SerbskEs have brought home the salsa.
Salsa shower.
Oh my goodness. That was a close one.
Fef, what a phenomenal. The final tallies, the final scores are still being tabulated. The T's are yet to be crossed. The I's are to be dotted. But I'm declaring a salsa victory for the SerbskE Club in dramatic fashion with some big, big scores at game 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was not easy, and I feel like I would have been kind of the the one who dragged us down if Iggy hadn't come through at the end there, but he did.
It might be something to do with that 2-hole spot because usually that's my position. And
The classic
I've been
Hulk
there
Hogan
before.
come from behind victory.
Woo! I love it. Great wrestling reference. The SerbskEs did what they needed to do. Let me remind the audience, the SerbskE Club was down 0-9 after game 1. I don't know if you call it a comeback. There's Mark celebrating with some salsa. Special shout out to all the
Salsa
good people at
Joe.
Chip Magnet Salsa for sponsoring tonight. Oh man, it's going to be a very salsa Thanksgiving. Feftacular III at its best.
Thank you, Jim. Great job tonight, Jim.
Jimmy. Oh, man.
Jason is our opponent bowler tonight. I gave him some salsa as well.
Okay.
He got the 6 jar.
There you go.
Final score.
Once again, a final thank you to Ryan for tabulating all the points. And the final score tonight,
21-15.
SerbskEs 21, Rich Miller's Pro Shop 15. 21-15, Fef.
As the Pilgrims would have
Oh.
intended had they been bowlers.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds good to me. Wow.
Wow.
Amazing comeback for the SerbskE Club. They kept their eye on the prize all night.
So,
Man, we had a fun time tonight, Fef.
that was
Thanks for including Maxxx Creditz in the broadcast.
oh, it's my pleasure.
I enjoyed it.
This is great. You held it down great.
Thanks to
No,
our listening audience, the millions of people patching in live. Thanks to everybody here that also caught the performance.
and happy Thanksgiving
Happy Thanksgiving
to
you,
one
Fef.
and all. From here in Menomonee Falls, Wisconsin,
Thanks to
And-
Village Bowl for letting us again do a SerbskE takeover.
And if luck is on our side, we'll do it again next year. Bye.
Well, what do you think, Fef? Do we bring it back for
I would love
Feftacular
to.
4?
I would love to. I hope we do.
You are welcome back,
Yeah.
my friend.
There's Jeff. Well done, boys. Happy Thanksgiving.
No coaster left behind. Fef.
No coaster left behind. That includes the bowling with the Fef.
The coasters are being collected. The hugs are being made. The high fives are being administered. And people are asking for shameless plugs.
Everybody wants a piece. Everybody wants a piece. As the celebration continues, Mark Ignatowski shakes the salsa.
Fef, do you want to run through the final scores there? Scratch?
Pull the scores up.
Yeah. Let's recap. Dominic Leet finishing at 619. The Fef punching out a wonderful, is that a 627, Fef?
Yep.
629 for Pete Serge Serbiak. The Doctor, 698.
Yep.
And Mark Ignatowski, 654. So nothing but sixes.
Yeah.
Pretty solid.
Not bad.
Notable score for the anchor bowler in Rich Miller's Pro Shop, 574. Jason. Good bowling, Jason. Good score.
Yeah. So there you have it.
All in all, a Feftacular night. Tough to say.
Feftaculous.
Thanks again for having me, Fef.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed.
Me too. No,
my time.
glad you were here and on the microphone. Who does it better?
Nobody but you and me,
Nobody
baby.
I know.
All right, is that going to be a sign off?
That's going to be a sign off, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving for the rest of the SerbskE Club. Your salsa champions once again.
We'll do that for real in April.
There you go. From fabulous Village Bowl in Menomonee Falls, the country club of bowling.
Good night. Good luck.
And good bowling,
everybody.
Thank you for watching Bowling with the Fef. Pound the like button and subscribe button. It's the easiest way to support the channel, and it's free. Bowling with the Fef is brought to you by Chip Magnet. Raise your snack standards.
And Jerry's Score More Bowling inside Wagner's Lane, the Eau Claire, Wisconsin area's leader in bowling supplies and services since 1988.
Email bowlingwiththefef@yahoo.com with questions or to appear on the show. You can also reach out on your favorite social media platform.